Let's see this actually. Peggy Gou supposedly got a new track out, and I want to hear what it actually sounds like. I've not actually heard it. It might be an actual bop. This is courtesy of RA. It says Peggy Gou releases new single called Nabi. Out now on Gudu. It's her first time collaborating with a vocalist. It's funny too that RA, the only bit of news that they reported on her since that whole like Daniel Wang thing has been this. They completely removed or ignored that Daniel Wang stuff. They completely ignored all the Playgrave stuff. They could just completely ignore that, of course, because she's, she's fucking bossed up in it. She's with a massive label that's, it's got some of the biggest artists in the scene on their roster, or was it booking agent, whatever it may be. I remember I found it on the site on here actually. I can't bother to get up again, but she's fairly well backed, let's say that. So it made, it was no surprise that when the whole Playgrave stuff was going on, RA didn't want to report on her at all because there were too many conflicting interests there going on. And then when the whole Daniel Wang thing happened, they completely ignored that too, which was probably a wise thing considering how it kind of ended in the fact that people kind of sided with Peggy Gou more, even though Daniel Wang was kind of right in what he said, but his approach was just so horrible, especially for somebody that has such experience in the scene and whatever it may be called. It just came across super jealous and weird. It's just an odd way to kind of approach a situation like that. And the first bit of news I've seen anyway of her on RA is this new single that's just dropped, right? And I haven't really heard it myself anyway, but let's see. Out now on Gudu, says here, Peggy Gou's new single, Nabi, is out now, released via Gou's own label, Gudu Records. Nabi is her first release since 2019, Starry Night. Mate, that is a hit, innit? She put out Starry Night in 2019. I don't know what people think, and if they ever not, they think Starry Night was actually not made by her. It was made by her, but that track is an undeniable hit, right? It's a proper sing-along record. Plays well in most sets, especially if you're playing that sort of like indie dance, new disco, deep housey sort of set, right? It's gonna absolutely tear up the place, especially nowadays with people playing outdoor, sort of like beer garden, open air events. I guess, like, it's gonna tear it down. No matter what you think about the lady, the track is an absolute banger, and that's 2019, and she's coming back out with this track with Nabi, which I'm assuming is her attempt to, try to, relight that flame. It says here it features vocals from how you pronounce that? Oyuk, a fellow South Korean artist who fronts indie rock band, however that name is there. It's Gou's first time working with a vocalist. It says Nabi is out digitally and it's a 7-inch record which features a second track called Message from PG on the B-side. It's the first of 2 singles Gou has out this summer. So yeah, let's see what this sounds like, right? Let's see what this sounds like. I've not actually heard this. Let's see if it's a banger or not. I think we got a hit. Only 14 seconds in. I think we got a hit. Nice. I forgot what that sample is, but it's definitely like an old school house sample in it. It's like what is this BPM wise? 110, 118 ish, it feels like. 그냥 쳐다보는 자 지나가는 자 괜히 바라보는 자 무심히 스쳐간 많은 시간 Yeah, you know what? It's all right. It's not. It probably doesn't hit bang as much as a Starry Night did when that first drop, but I think it'll do a job in an open air, 1 or 2 places here and there. I assume that the remixes are going to be fairly big, right? with her connections and notoriety and popularity, people are going to be falling over themselves to try and remix this. Especially, it'd be funny too, the people that were, first to try and jump on the hate bandwagon are going to be quick to try and get involved in the remix, because if you're able to hit this out of the park, this could be one of those tracks that sort of like propel someone's career. Do you know what I mean? So definitely see this going places in that regard. So definitely watch out for remixes. Again, depending on who plays in the set and whatever. But don't know, it didn't really hit the same way as Starry Night did when that dropped. But again, the setting where I'm at probably kind of played into it. But first impressions, it's all right. It's blessed, it's safe, but again, it's ironic because I think this similar to like Olivia Rodrigo's driving license. This is just gonna be forced down your. You're gonna we are going to like this no matter what, right? They're gonna make this. You're gonna make this a thing where no, you're gonna like this track. There's no other ifs, buts, or maybe, because there's just too much of a machine behind Peggy Gou for it to just allow it to be just some random track that no one gives a crap about. But maybe this other track too, wasn't it? There's another one supposed to be called Message from PG. It's the second track on the EP. That might be a sly little banger as well. We're interested to hear that one. I'm assuming that's going to have her vocals on it herself. But yeah, I don't know. It's a little bit underwhelming. Not going to lie. A little bit underwhelming. But, these days in music, innit? These days in music, you don't really know what you're going to get until you get it. It's an interesting approach too, because usually whenever I've dance music, especially big singles, they tend not to just drop them like this. Usually an artist, it feels like, especially when you look at some of the kind of music camp, the Innovision crew, those kind of guys, they usually tend to just completely, they usually try to play the single without telling you it's a single for like a year solid, maybe 18 months while they're on tour and, playing all over the place, and people are like, oh, what's a tune ID, what's a tune ID, and then they'll kind of expertly kind of ignore your kind of question, and then bang, they'll announce it, right? And then by that time they built up like 18 months worth of like hype, and people all downloading snippets and cleaning stuff up on GarageBand and playing that, that kind of stuff. So when it finally drops, like, finally I've got like a CDQ version, quote unquote, of the track. So it's interesting that she just dropped a single, like, just fuck it, because I'm not too sure if that's how Starry Night came out. I'm not too sure if I think I might have heard Starry Night first played by like a Gerd Jansen in a set, and I was like, oh, what is that? And then I found, and I think the interesting part of that is, I think sometimes with, maybe because of her notoriety and the scandals and just her as a person, maybe it's quite beneficial not to kind of put your name on a single straight away, and maybe just seed it to people and let them mix it in sets, and then hope it kind of just gets a fair sort of let it get like a fair critique without people realizing that it's you, because I'm sure some people are going to be like, what, I don't care how good this is, this could be like, this could be fucking Purple Beret Mark II. I'm not going to flip and play it. I mean, people just are not going to play it because it's just her, which is a shame. But, I guess that's part of artistry, and that people are going to somehow take other parts of your personality and maybe use that as a stick to beat some of your artistry with. It's just part and parcel of the game, innit? But yeah, again, I'm not that impressed. Maybe wait to hear it out in public, maybe not. But that is it. That's Peggy Gou's new single called Nabi. Check that out when that comes out. When's that coming to come out? It says here the date. Nabi's out now, available to buy in Bandcamp, of course, and I think the other track is going to come out fairly soon.